Before we begin, a few important words. This recording is intended for relaxation, personal development, and general well-being. It is not therapy, it is not medical treatment, and it is not a substitute for professional care from a licensed healthcare provider. No specific results are promised or guaranteed. Every person's experience is unique, and what you take from this session is entirely your own. If you are dealing with a medical condition, a mental health concern, or are currently receiving treatment of any kind, please continue to work with your healthcare provider. This recording is meant to complement your well-being, never to replace professional guidance. Hypnosis recordings, while effective for many people, are not a replacement for working one-on-one with a trained and highly skilled clinical hypnotherapist. If you are dealing with a specific issue and would like personalized help, I invite you to visit phobiafree.life and schedule a free consultation with a certified clinical hypnotherapist. Before we begin, this recording contains hypnosis. Please do not listen to this while driving, operating machinery, or doing anything that requires your full attention. Find a quiet, comfortable place where you can simply relax, undisturbed, for the duration of this session. If at any time you need to be fully alert, you can simply open your eyes, take a deep breath, and return to full waking awareness immediately. Find yourself in a comfortable position now. And you don't need to do anything in particular, just allow your body to settle the way it naturally wants to when given permission to simply be still. You might notice the weight of your body against whatever is supporting you right now. And isn't it interesting how you never really noticed that support before, and yet it was always there? Your eyes can remain open, or they may find their own way to close, and some people find their eyes closing almost before they expect them to, and that's perfectly fine, because your unconscious mind always knows exactly what it needs. With each breath you take, you don't even have to try to relax, because relaxation isn't something you do, it's something you allow, and your body already knows how. Perhaps you notice a gentle heaviness beginning in your shoulders, or maybe it starts somewhere else entirely. It doesn't matter where it begins, only that it spreads slowly, naturally, the way warmth spreads through your hands on a cold day, without any effort at all. And as that comfortable feeling continues to deepen, your mind may begin to drift a little, the way it does in those moments just before sleep, when thoughts become softer, less urgent, more like clouds passing than anything requiring your attention. You don't need to follow every word I say. In fact, your unconscious mind is already doing exactly what it needs to do, and your conscious mind is welcome to rest. With every breath out, just a little more comfortable, a little more settled, a little more yours. And when you're ready, we can go somewhere quite wonderful together. I want to start with something that might sound strange coming from someone who works with the mind. Financial abundance is not really about money, it's about the relationship you have with money. And more specifically, it's about the story your mind tells you about whether there's enough. Two people can have the same bank account and feel entirely different about it. One feels secure, the other feels terrified. Same number, different story. which means the feeling of abundance or the feeling of scarcity isn't coming from your account balance. It's coming from somewhere inside you, a pattern, a belief, a story that was probably installed long before you were old enough to question it. And stories can be rewritten. But first, a feeling. I'd like you to think about how you would love to feel about money, not how you think you should feel, not what anyone else says is the right way to feel, but your own word for it. Maybe it's security, maybe it's freedom, maybe it's ease, maybe it's excitement, maybe it's that feeling of being able to walk into any store, any restaurant, any situation, and just not worry. Whatever your word is, hold it. Now, think of a time when you actually felt that way. Maybe it was the day you got your first real paycheck and you held it in your hand and thought, I did this, I earned this, and for a moment the world felt wide open, like anything was possible, because you had proof that you could create something from nothing. Or maybe it was a time you were generous, bought someone dinner, left a big tip, gave a gift that was more than you needed to, and it felt good, not stressful, not scary, just good. Because in that moment you knew there's enough to give some away and still be fine. Or maybe it was simpler than that. Maybe it was being a child, before anyone taught you to worry about money, when the idea of not enough didn't exist yet, when the refrigerator was always full and the lights were always on and money was just something adults dealt with, and you were free, completely, blissfully free from even thinking about it. Or maybe it was a windfall, unexpected money that showed up when you needed it most, and that rush you felt wasn't just relief, it was recognition, a quiet, deep knowing that said, the universe provides. It always has. I just forgot. Or your own moment, something private, something that carries a charge only you understand. Whatever it is, be there now, not remembering it, feeling it in your body, in your chest, in your hands. Feel what it felt like to be inside that version of you, the one who wasn't worried, the one who felt that the flow was working, that things were handled. And notice what changes in your body when you find it. Something opens, something unclenches, your shoulders drop, your jaw softens, your breathing deepens, because scarcity lives in the body as tension. And whatever you're feeling right now, your feeling, is the opposite of tension. It's spaciousness, openness, room to breathe. Let it grow now. Let it fill your whole body. Let it saturate you the way sunlight saturates a room when you throw the curtains wide open. Not a sliver of light through a crack, all of it, pouring in, filling every corner. Good. Now, I want to tell you about two kinds of rivers. The first kind is a river with a dam. The water behind the dam is enormous, abundant, more than enough, but the dam holds it back. Only a trickle gets through. And the person standing below the dam looks at the trickle and thinks, there isn't enough. There's never enough. I need to hold on to every drop. The second kind is a river with no dam. The water flows freely, abundantly, more coming all the time, from the mountains, from the rain, from springs deep underground. And the person standing beside this river doesn't worry about the water running out because they can see it's always flowing, always replenishing, always more. Here's the thing. Both rivers have the same amount of water. The only difference is the dam. And the dam is your scarcity story. The beliefs about money that were handed to you before you ever had a chance to decide for yourself what you believed. Money is hard to make. There's never enough. Rich people are greedy. I don't deserve more. You have to struggle. You can't have money and be a good person. These are bricks in the dam, and every one of them is just a story, not a law of physics, not a fact of nature, just a story someone told you, or that you told yourself, and repeated so many times that it started to feel like truth. And tonight, we're not going to demolish the dam. We're just going to loosen some bricks. Let a little more water through. Let you feel what it's like when the flow increases, and notice that nothing bad happens. That more flowing in doesn't mean something flowing out. And that feeling you found, amplify it now. Double it. Whatever your word is, let it become twice as strong. As if the dam has just loosened its first brick, and you can feel the river behind it starting to push through, not violently, gently, steadily, the way water always finds a way. Double it again. And again. Until your whole body is vibrating with this feeling. This is what abundance feels like from the inside, not a number on a screen, not a pile of cash. This feeling. This is what you've actually been wanting. The money was just the thing you thought would give it to you, but you're feeling it right now, without a single dollar changing hands, which means this feeling is yours. It doesn't depend on circumstances, it depends on you. You know, Erickson understood something about the unconscious mind that changes everything. Your unconscious mind is extraordinarily good at finding solutions, spotting opportunities, connecting dots your conscious mind would never connect, but it can only do that when it's not in survival mode. A mind stuck in scarcity is a mind in survival mode. It can only see threats. It can only think about what's missing. But a mind that feels the way you feel right now, a mind operating from your feeling, that mind sees differently. It notices opportunities that were always there but invisible through the lens of scarcity. It thinks creatively instead of defensively. It makes decisions from possibility instead of fear. Not because it's smarter, but because it's not clenched. And you might try right now to bring back that old scarcity feeling. That tightness, that worry, that voice that says there's not enough and there never will be. And notice how it can't get a foothold, how your body refuses to contract again because it's tasted expansion. It knows what this feeling is now, and it doesn't want to go back to the trickle when it's felt the river. And now, imagine a moment in the future. You're going about your day, and something related to money comes up. A bill, an opportunity, a decision. And instead of the familiar contraction, instead of the tightening and the worry, you notice your feeling, your river, still flowing. And from that place, that open, spacious place, you respond with clarity, without fear, without the old story running the show. And the decision you make from that place is different, more open, more creative, more aligned with where you actually want to go, instead of what you're afraid of losing. And each time you respond from the river instead of the dam, the bricks loosen a little more. The flow increases a little more. Opportunities appear that weren't visible before, not because they weren't there, but because your eyes were closed to them. Scarcity goggles. And now the goggles are off, and you can see. And over time, something shifts, not just in how you feel about money, but in how money shows up in your life. Because you're no longer repelling it with fear. You're no longer choking it with scarcity. You're allowing it to flow the way the river flows, naturally, abundantly, continuously. And that feeling, your feeling, it's not going away when you leave this session. It's going to stay with you, like a pilot light, always on, always available. And every time you need it, every time the old story tries to creep back in, you can close your eyes for a moment, find the river, and let it flow. And now, in a moment, I'm going to count from 1 to 5. And you can choose. Open your eyes, feeling abundant and open and clear, carrying this feeling into every financial decision you make. Or drift into sleep, the river flowing, the dam dissolving, your unconscious mind working through the night to find new pathways for abundance to reach you. Whatever you choose is exactly right. 1. Awareness shifting. The river stays. The feeling stays. 2. Whether coming up or going deeper, the flow continues. 3. Your mind is already seeing differently, already noticing what it couldn't see before. 4. Almost there, open, expansive, abundant, free. 5. Eyes opening, feeling the flow, ready for whatever comes, or eyes closing deeper, the river running all night, carrying you toward everything you've been asking for. Whichever you chose, the river is flowing, and it's not going to stop.